This episode of the popular podcast on Context Everything Media Network is unofficially brought to you by Mogo, Make Mo Matter on Cookman Avenue in Asbury Park. Mogo, really a central sting pin of the Cookman Avenue food discord, and you always are going to have a fun time when you go there because it usually means that you're having a beautiful day out in Asbury Park. Last time I was in Mogo, it was on St. Patrick's Day Parade Day with my friend wearing green. He was wearing his green hoodie with Johnny Mac's House of Spirits right on it. Just wearing it because he bought it. Walked into Mogo, and actually a gentleman sitting at one of the tables, inebriated off of his can, put a phone in my friend's face and said, "I'm going to sue you for assault." Now, my friend not a bouncer at Johnny Mac's, and I'm not alleging that Johnny Mac's bouncers assault anybody. But I'll just tell you, don't snort the clean line at Johnny Mac's. They'll throw you out like a 2x4 log onto a log flume road. Johnny Mac's, kind participant for the Context Everything Media Network, and Mogo, Make Mo Matter. Let's check out the show.
Nils here for the Context Everything Media Network, live here on the Coastal Corridor in beautiful Manasquan, New Jersey, for our next popular podcast. But before we get into that podcast, first thing I want to say is I want to send my deepest condolences to the victims of that tragic helicopter crash in the Hudson River and that rooftop collapse at that nightclub in Dominican Republic. Do tell, we did save former Major League players. But moving on to some local music news. If you're tuning in for this Tuesday at the Belmar Arts Centre for the BAC Open Mic Night, be prepared to witness the arrival of a close personal friend of mine, Mr. Donny DiCarlo. Who is he, might you ask? Well, you might as well realise if you show up now. So that's a hint. Get to the BAC on Tuesday. Get your arses there for a nice show. But moving on to our podcast section, I have a wonderful guest with me today to discuss some very serious news here at the Coastal Corridors and for the future of this wonderful news network. Welcoming here to the podcast, he interviewed me last time, but now the tables have quite turned now, have they? He is the founder of this network. He's the man on the scene. Mr. J.M. Cooks, let's welcome him. Come on in, laddie.
Whoa. Hey, Nils. You're telling me I interviewed you? I wasn't even in the building. That was Lana. That was my manager who interviewed you last time. But either way, I'm really
I must
happy
say, the resemblance is quite shocking now.
You know, we were cut from the same cloth, I might have to say. J.M. Cooks here live and happy to be here. Nils, thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for having you on the show. Like I said last time, once the hands are shaking, the earth starts quaking for this wondrous occasion. And I must say, he brought some coffee out. What the hat.
Cheers.
Cheers to that, laddie.
Coastal Corridor Blend from Context Everything Media Products. Always a good sip.
It tastes really good. And you know what he said about me? I must say the same thing. He's very particular about his pour.
That's right. A gentleman. Nils, what do you got me here for? I'm happy to be here, but what are we talking about?
Well, we got some serious matters to discuss now, do we?
Right.
Well, I think we need to address the elephant in the room, and this is something that affects both of us, but you were in quite an outrage on the phone the other day when you told me about this, so Why don't I leave the floor to you?
Yeah, Nils, it's a real sad day in Instagram history as we lose the notes capacity, which J.M. Cooks, you can know as the preeminent note user in all of the greater United States area. It was those little bubbles that would pop up on the bottom corner of the post, and, you know, you'd say little cute quips like beast or bug out, or beast, or
right.
That's a bug out, or right.
That's right.
A couple of famous JM quotes that, aren't lost to history, but history does have to change as the notes feature has been eliminated. And Nils, yeah, that is going to affect the whole network, and I'm glad that we're here to talk about it.
I'll tell you why it really pisses me off too, because when I was hired for this position, I was looking very good to take a great advantage of that. Yeah. And of course, Instagram had to fuck us over, and now it affects me too. I've been trying to use that formula as well, and now I can't. So what is the future of Context Everything Media Network? That's something we need to discuss about.
Nils, buddy, I don't want to talk over you, but you can't throw language around like that on a family network, Context Everything Media.
But
I know
context is everything, but I apologize.
I know you're a professional footballer. I know that you came in as a celebrity award-winning center back, but you can't throw around profanity like that, like you're talking to a referee.
Hey, listen, the president of Scotland doesn't reward Player of the Year for people that speak calmly now, but you know what? I have to learn. This is only my second podcast, so I'll leave it. I'll try my best not to throw any outbursts out there for the fans watching.
You know, Nils, God love you. I'll drink to that. And sometimes you hire a man because of the fire in his heart. And how can you blame him?
You did hire me after all, but at the same time you can't fire me, so you know what? I will follow your rules.
God bless you, buddy. Really happy to be here, Nils. Really happy to be here in general.
We got to think of some alternatives to what we can do for posts and comments and.
Right. So generally thinking, John Michael J.M. Cooks here. I'm going to be doing a lot more commenting on posts, and I think that's going to be our solution to the lack of the notes. We lost the notes, folks. I'm going to be using the comments section. So keep your eyes out, and maybe it's going to be a brand new era. And hey, Threads is also an Instagram feature, a partner of Instagram, and you can find all J.M. Cooks comments on Threads. So that might be something that you want to check out. But Nils, let's get on. Let's move on. Let's stop talking about sad things. Follow me on Threads. Follow my comments. And check out JM Cooks all around and Nils Gannon, Nicky Party Music, under Nicky Party Music Management. Nils, let's move on. What's coming up? What do we got else to talk about?
Well, kind of like what I talked about not too long ago before I introduced you. This Tuesday at the Belmar Arts Centre, one of my close personal friends is coming out of retirement, is a man from Long Island, New York, who I met many years ago when I first visited the United States. We kept in close contact, but he goes by the name of Donnie DiCarlo, and you might not know who he is, and I don't think anybody else quite knows who he is right now, but he did say this Tuesday at 7 o'clock, once the show starts at the BAC, he's willing to make an impact. What he means by that, I bloody don't know. You're going to have to find out for yourself. But I'm quite excited because I know him and I've seen him. And let me tell you, folks, he's a spectacle to believe. Your eyes will not believe what they see.
Well, that's honestly very exciting. Donnie DiCarlo. Nils Cannon, when you trust a man, you trust him with your life. And Donnie DiCarlo sounds like a real character, and that's going to be Belmar Arts Center this Tuesday.
Oh, he's quite a character.
Good.
He's quite a character. I'll let you know that now.
Good. Nils, I see that we have this framed picture here, and I hear that this has got a lot of lore to it. I'm going to show the people on the camera, and then I want to ask you what you think about it, because this is more a question that I have for you. What is your relationship to New York City?
Well, New York City.
Former footballer, former international star of Scotland national soccer.
When I first came to New York City, this was around 1983, actually, a year after I started playing for our Scottish national team. We came to the United States, we came to New York, we did a scrimmage with the New York Red Bulls.
Wow.
I got to meet some great players, and I got to learn some of the language barriers. Apparently, you Americans call it soccer.
That's right. When you say football, I keep thinking about punt, drive, and run.
And it's good!
Right. That's a good
touchdown!
That's a good American accent. This guy's good.
Well, I could do quite... if you want to talk more about New York Giants, New York Jets...
Right.
Listen, no offense to any of your fans out there, but I think both those teams are absolute arse. No offense. Listen, you can root for them all you want. They're just not great teams.
Right.
But New York City, I did see a New York Giants game. They played against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great game. But that was the only time I've ever seen an American football game. I can say, wow, these Americans are quite statistical when it comes to their own sports. Half of these first down, line of scrimmage, yard line, field goal. After reviewing the play, I don't know what any of that stuff even means, but the more I watch American football, I get to understand, wow, these Americans are quite serious in what they do now.
That's right. So when you see this picture, you see a couple of bridges. The Brooklyn Bridge, to name a few. The Brooklyn Bridge has a lot of lore in the Context Everything Media history, where if you've noticed and you've picked up on the Easter eggs, it's been in the background of nearly every Dr. Lotto segment from episodes 1 to 75. If you notice that, comment in the comment section below, and you'll get a free reward, complimentary, of the Context Everything Media Network. And it's going to be a very rare release and quite a valuable item as the future unfolds.
I will say, for any of those fans who have noticed that picture of the Brooklyn Bridge in the background for those past 75 episodes, those are the diehard fans that are looking deep into the lore.
Right.
Looking into it. Something I might have to look into myself.
Yeah.
I want to know why the Brooklyn Bridge is in the background.
Well,
I need to make a note of this. I must investigate.
Right. Folks, if you've stuck around this long, you're learning an important fact about our newest field reporter and studio personality, Nils Cannon. Investigative journalist, and he's going to be on the field exploring a lot of mysteries in the Asbury Park metropolitan area and beyond.
As a matter of fact, there's one case I'm kind of working on right now.
Is that right?
As a matter of fact, I received a letter from our very own Nicky Party Music, and he asked me personally to help him solve a case that he's been bugging his mind for the last 30 years of his life. He was telling me how when he was a kid, he used to watch Sesame Street VHS tapes at his grandmother's house with his brother, and there was a segment where they showed the opening cutscene, and the camera might have looked a little blurry, or it could have just been the quality of the set, of the design at the time, but there's a plate, and if you look on the plate, his brother and him always thought those were chicken cutlets. But now as he got older, he started to realize those look more like cookies. So I'm going to be asking people in the field, are those cookies or are they cutlets?
Cookies or cutlets? A new segment coming to Context Everything Media, courtesy of our newest reporter.
Got to be honest, once I watched that cutscene, I saw for myself what he was talking about, and I realised that's quite the bug out. I must investigate that, because even I'm confused myself. I don't know what the answer is, so I have to look deep into that investigation. Use all the great statistical technology we've got for forensic use here at the Context Everything Media Network. It's driving me mad. If it drove him mad for 30 years, I feel terribly sorry for him. Nicky Party, we will be on your side for this case.
Right, that's going to be Nicky Party Music on the Context Everything Media, Cookies or Cutlets, and that's going to be an investigative journalist expedition put on by Nils Cannon here on the Context Everything Media Network. And folks, we're so happy to be here. And Nils, I'm sorry to kind of take the reins here, but it's been a real honor and a real pleasure to be on the show today. And I want to ask you, is there anything else that you want to say to the people back home? They're still getting to know you, Nils.
Well, if you want to know me, I'm still learning the ropes here at the Context Everything Media. You heard I made a mistake before. When I introduced him, I said he interviewed me last month. That was a Dr. Lotto, but I said, the manager, the resemblance is quite similar. So
it's the beard, it's the mustache.
I must investigate that. Something tells me something's off about that.
You don't have to look deeper into that, Nils. You don't have to look any deeper into that at all.
Are you two related?
Folks, for all of us here at the Context of Everything Media Network, we hope to hear you next time as well. And Nils, stay in your lane.